Okay. I'll see so many things that it seems every couple of days now I'm seeing stuff that indicates that things in the United States are cheaper over there than they are here. And I know it's got a bit to do with a smaller economy here because things in New Zealand are even dearer again for the same stuff. And, you know, there's the fact that 90 US cents exchanges out to $1 US. So, you know, dollar for dollar, it isn't exactly spot on, but it's not too far off. This is sort of more in response to something I, you know, saw with Troy saying that I should get a backhoe, and I said, look, it'll be $10,000 for an absolute piece of crap, and, you know, if you want a reasonably good one, it'll be about $40,000, but your $10,000 one will have leaking rams, it'll be using oil, it'll need jump starting every time, it'll, you know, need Aerostart to get it going, you'll probably have, you know, might even have tyres that keep going flat on you, you know, but, you know, I just said, think about all this, is it really realistic cost-wise? When we open the appropriate magazine around here, they have a lot of tractors they're selling that are from the 1960s, you know, and 1970s. You know, and these are all small tractors, but they all sort of want, like, you know, anything from, you know, 4,500 to 8,500 usually for those sort of things. But on occasion, and you see this in nearly every episode of this, there'll be 1, 2, maybe nearly 3 of the real big bangers that are built from like 76 probably through to about 1980 with some of them, the early 80s, and, you know, they'd be around the $10,000 mark or something like that, to $12,000, but yeah, and they're sort of big enough ones. I've had real troubles with the image stabilisation, so I've got it on a tripod at the moment. But let's get into... I couldn't find the bit for backhoes, but I do know it's in here. But we'll get into... well, loaders in a minute, but here's the generator. I mean, look at it. The flipping thing is completely rust. Yeah, it's 650 amps. Yeah, it's a Lincoln, which is a good brand, but I reckon it'd be built in the 70s. $1,800. Now, that would be the sort of thing I might get for air conditioning or something like that, but I've decided against that now. But all the same, you know, if it's built in the 70s, like, how much sludge is there going to be in the coolant system that may be holding you back and cause it to overheat, regardless of how much blasted water you can, you know, coolant you can run through the system. And I'll get here to the loaders. This is one I told him about and I screwed up on the price. I said the thing was $10,000. Nice big heavy machine, you know, V8 Perkins, they want 15 grand. Have a look. Cracked head? I mean, my gosh, like, oh, it still goes alright. We've got quite a few of these ones kicking around. Yeah, another old banger, a lot of these about 1971. This one I think is a slightly lower duty one to some of the other ones, and most of them are around, you know, 10 to 12,000, but that one's a slightly lighter duty one, $8,000. But there's quite a few of those International Hue or however they say it. But you get some of the other, you know, things like your track loaders and stuff like that. You know, 55,000. The thing's built in 1980. And I'm not saying they burnt out, because, you know, I know that old machinery runs and all that alright, but I'm just trying to give some comparisons here, because I'll be surprised if, you know, Americans are paying similar prices for stuff as old as we are. And I mean, we keep using things till they're buggered, but 1989 D7, 105 grand. I think that one there is about 1980 or something like that. Because that was on the front page a couple of episodes ago, and it's still here, $100,000. You get up to the real nice stuff, you really jump in some prices here. 2005, now these are mine spec. And mine spec means you got all the rollover protection you could think of. It's built to basically almost military specifications. You know, the cooling systems are going to handle really bad heat, you know, but yeah, that's each 330,000. Here's some other ones. 95 Benz. I think it's more or less a coach, but 66,000. But look at the amount of kilometres it's bloody done. You times that by 0.6 or divide by 1.6 and you get the miles. Yeah, 1989 coach, 40 grand. You know, even some of the older, this one's been in there for so many episodes, it's not funny. 1980, 8,800, that's probably not too bad, but you know, some of these other ones, you know, that's so-called coach, but it's not really, it's only a blooming school bus. You know, 30 grand, 94 model. So that's just a few of the prices of a bit of the equipment. You know, some of the trucks aren't too bad a price, some are sort of cheap enough in here. There's always one that's about $5,000, but it'll only be one. And this episode, it's that one there, but you have a look, blown piston. So it's another one that had a real serious rotten cab for about $5,000 and it needed a brand new cab. But yeah, it just gives you an idea of some of the prices that we pay for some of the stuff around here, and I bet you there's a few Americans going, holy smoke,